And welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to Houston Dynamo FC versus Columbus Crew in the first leg of the round of 16 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup 2024. Houston Dynamo FC contra Columbus Crew en la Concachampions de la CONCACAF octavos de final partido ida. Houston hosting the first leg. Of course, they got that away goal win over St. Louis last week, which led to them getting to this round of the tournament. Columbus, of course, a first round bye by winning MLS Cup back in December. And full time in New England, Alajuelense, 4-0. So we got a 4-0 New England win over Alajuelense in the first leg. Then we got Houston Columbus. We got Club America Chivas. So I'll have all that side done and 2 games off the right side. New England destroyed Alajuelense. Yep, they did. And honestly, I'm shocked. Well, yeah, I'm honestly shocked. So, to fully move on to Houston Columbus. In goal, we got Steve Clark. The back three of Eric Spachenko, Mikhail Artur. The midfield three of Franco Escobar, Jan Gregus, Adalberto Carrasquilla. The attacking midfield two of Amin Bassi, and Griffin Dorsey. The front two of Ibrahim Aliyu and Gabe Siegel. For Columbus, in goal, we got Patrick Schulte. The back four of Rudy Camacho, Evgen Sheberko, Mo Farsi, and Steven Moreira. The midfield three of Darlington Nagby, Aiden Morris, Sean Zawadski, and the front three of Diego Rossi, Marino, Hinestroza, and Jason Russell Rowe. So a little bit of rotation for the Crew tonight to start. They did put Kucha on the bench. Okay. So let's see. Steve Clark playing one of his former clubs. Yeah, he was a Columbus Crew player. He was. Yes. Brazil women winning 2-0. Yep. I was watching that, and then they went up 2-0, and Mexico was down 10. I'm like, yeah, Mexico has no chance here. So we'll bring up the Canada-USA game when that starts. And with the way this is going, I think both Club America Chivas, Canada, USA. Basically, I'll be live to the final whistle of the second match, whatever ends second. So it's possible that it might take a little bit longer for me to put out the RSR for Chivas versus America. So, yeah, we're going to go to the end of the Canada game because that'll probably end later, even with just stoppage time and a 90-minute win, if that was to happen on either side. If it goes extra time and penalties, you know. But there you go. So basically, the America Chivas one is also a double, pretty much. For all intents and purposes, a double. So, New England won 4-0 in the 5 o'clock game. Just finished. We're going to wait for Houston Columbus to start. The appetizer, or should I say the salad, to the Columbus, or not the Columbus Crew, the Chivas America game. How we doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was watching the Golazo coverage of them. Basically, the whip around of the 2 games. So, I mean, Man City, well, ain't much to say about that. I mean, Man City beat the ever-loving hell out of Copenhagen, and Real Madrid drew Leipzig, which was interesting, actually. But a 1-1 draw was enough anyway for Madrid. They were sort of, even with a whip around, it was sort of boring. Not going to lie. But Man City and Real Madrid through, Bayern is through, and PSG is through. Next week, the other 4 play ties and the Europa League second legs. They almost did. Luckily, Madrid scored. Houston wearing their purple at home. Columbus wearing their yellow, the Charlie Brown kits. Well, I agree with that. Absolute wild trades in the NHL today, and the Leafs did nothing of the sort. Because, of course, they didn't do anything of the sort. Hannafin going to the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas making some deals. Colorado's making some deals. Toronto ain't done nothing. But we'll find out. I think trade deadline's Friday, right? I think Dangle said he would be in the SDPN studios all Friday. Yep. What's your favorite Premier League team? Chelsea. But let's be honest, I could care less about the Prem if I'm being totally and completely honest. Like, I mean, I watch the Premier League for tactics, but do I watch every game? No. I'd rather watch CONCACAF and MLS. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing, Captain? Honestly, Toronto FC better than Chelsea. Truthfully, you're right now. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they were both crap for a while, and now Toronto actually is better. But I would rather watch Toronto. Always have. Always have. I mean, I didn't get into European football until like 2015. Like, I watched MLS. I watched the 2006 World Cup. I watched MLS since Toronto came into the league. I didn't start watching European football truly watching until 2015. Now, there was that little portion of time where I was watching Pozuelo in Swansea in 2013. But those were like really early games on like USA and stuff like that. Like, it was like it felt like it was right after AM Monday Night Raw, like when they were showing the AM version. Yeah, always felt like that, to be honest. So, but I knew Pozuelo before he was in Toronto. Knew about him before he was in Toronto. Steve Clark, Franco Escobar, Mikhail, Eric Spachenko, Griffin Dorsey, Jan Gregus, Artur, Bassi, Karaskia, Gabe Siegel, Ibrahim Aliyu. I agree. Who you got, Liverpool versus Man City? I got Liverpool. They got something to prove. And they want to win it for Klopp. So I'm going Liverpool. Armando Villarreal is the referee tonight, which, why is there an American ref doing a MLS versus MLS game? Okay, that's just, maybe it's if it's not versus. I guess he doesn't have a bias. I guess they trust him not to have a bias because it's both his league's teams. Oscar Maja, the VAR referee. In CONCACAF, the pro refs could still call games. PSRA has nothing to do with CONCACAF, or at least they don't have a problem with CONCACAF. Columbus Crew, Schulte, Shaberko, Camacho, Marrero, Farsi, Nagby, Zawadzki, Morris, Hinostroza, Russell Rowe, and Diego Rossi. So when it comes to CONCACAF, they either don't have a problem with CONCACAF, at least when it comes to the reffing contracts, or, well, I guess that makes sense, they just have a problem with MLS proper. Like, the strikes on MLS. Not USL, not NWSL, it's MLS. Even NWSL and USL, you're going to see some of the people that are familiar faces call those games. So, it's only MLS games where you won't see El Fath, Villarreal. Like, you'll see them at CONCACAF. You'll see them at NWSL, USL. Not Next Pro either. But Next Pro, I still think, has scabs as well. But I think the World Cup was rigged. No. Columbus wins by 2. I agree. Probably. 4-0? Probably. How we doing, Isaiah? Both y'all at Subway? There you go. So, we had the curtain jerker with New England versus Alajuelense that I didn't cover, but I was watching. Then, we have the mid-card right now. 2 hours from now, we have the main event, Super Classico 250 in the Champions Cup. Chivas America 250. And we're off in the mid-card of the night. Houston wearing purple, Columbus wearing their Charlie Brown kits. Welcome to the mid-card show. I guess technically double main event because Canada versus U.S. Women's National Team. I'll be paying attention to that too. So it's pretty much a double, all things considered. I just didn't advertise it that way at 9 o'clock. But we'll see. Many years of football, crazy. If the Reds win by 4, you know the other team was a Mickey Mouse club. I didn't think that was going to happen, all right? Alajuelense disappointed me. They played like trash. New England, I guess Toronto made them angry. It's on Fox this year. Copa America's on Fox this year, so I'm sure some of the lower games will be put on Tubi. And, you know, they'll put them on the Fox Sports app and all that, so you should be good. Oh, and I think Copa America's on TUDN. I may be wrong. But, again, Fox Sports app, maybe Tubi, depends. I'm sure they'll put a couple of them on there. My luck, they'll probably put the Canada-Peru game on there. Well, doesn't matter. I have Tubi. Who knows? Maybe I'll be there. I thought Alajuelense would put a fight at least. I thought so too. I ain't going to see it, but you enjoy it. As I said, 2007 day one. When I got into the league, they were coming in and just was meant to be. Knowing they were coming in was why I watched the 2006 World Cup, actually. Rooted for Italy, of course. So that works perfectly for me. If you have the Fox Sports app, you download it to Roku. Cool. No, I didn't say that. No, I said Despicable Me. Like, I'll watch Despicable Me 4. I mean, Despicable Me came out when I was like 10. I watched the first one in theaters. Might as well just keep this one going. So, you know. Like, to me, Despicable Me going to see those movies or Minions, even though I'm in my mid-20s, isn't weird. Because the series came out when I was 10. And I saw the first one in theaters and the second one. So, might as well just keep pushing, you know? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Kung Fu Panda first came out when I was like 7, but I didn't really like it back then either. So, as many people here as in the stands. That's true. Barely anybody in Houston Stadium. Well, it's Houston. What'd you expect? It's Houston. What'd you expect? Man, we're throwing shots, aren't we? Thoughts on the Johansson for Walker trade and the Byram for Middlestat trade? Both good trades. I think they're both good trades. I think they help both sides for sure. Colorado making some work out of this. I think they're both good moves. Colorado's busy. Good play. That'll be cleared. Schulte clears. You could tell through like the TV how the atmosphere was amazing. You could tell the atmosphere was on fire just through the TV. Man, I miss those days. Hopefully we get back there at some point. I mean, you're not wrong. I wish they would. Yeah. First leg matches have been mostly a waste of time. Yeah, because 2-0 between two teams that, well, Herediano and Robin Hood, 0-0, 0-0, 4-0. It's either an ass kicking or nothing. But that's just, hey, it's just charging up the power for Chivas America and Miami Nashville to be crazy. I pray. See, we need those to be crazy, you know? We need those two games to be crazy. Because that'll get my review views and that'll get my live stream views. So we need those games to be crazy, okay? So if everything else sucks, that's a good thing. That means the energy is being charged up for those two games to be crazy. Which is good for me. Very good for me. See, just look at it like that. It may suck for you, but it's good for me. I've watched, even if I haven't covered it, I've watched all of them. Every single one. I got Chivas. I mean, they're both struggling right now. I got Chivas. I don't care that America beat Ratlas on the weekend. That's easy. America's still been questionable recently. So, I got Chivas. And they're at home as well. See, I said before the tournament, Columbus Crew, because the Miami looked horrible. I'm starting to think Miami might actually have a shot. Because of what they did to Orlando. Miami still has a shot. I did not think that a month ago. Let's just put it like this. I did not think Miami had a shot a month ago. Because they were horrible a month ago. 5-0 Miami, though. And even the win against RSL. I'm starting to think, you know what, maybe. I mean, getting rid of DeAndre Yedlin wasn't smart. So that might be something that hurts them. Dressel's way better in the midfield than outside back. As long as it's like 1-0 Nashville, you'll be fine. What? Are they choosing to rest them or are they injured again? Suarez could be injured again. I believe that. Is Messi? Well, no. Messi wouldn't choose to rest. He's going to play if he wants to play. So, we'll see. Miami can win it. Let's see what happens. I guess preseason is just preseason. I agree with that one. Houston playing forward. Aliu crosses in. Bassi gets cleared away. Good defensive play. Morris, he's good. Yep, 66 hours till the home opener against Charlotte. Hopefully this time we don't blow a 2-0 lead. That was a horrible April Fool's Day joke. I can tell you that much. If you remember, it was 2-0 Toronto on April Fool's Day against Charlotte at home, and then it ended up being 2-2. The Olympico game, the Bradley goal game, we'll see. Isaiah should know. He's the Miami fan here. I didn't hear anything, though, so until now. Timbers are about to sign Cabecita. Yep, it looks like it. After last night where we were discussing Bertarame, Cabecita, and the situation, I think, as I said, I think they do have personal terms with both strikers. It's the clubs that are holding up, or I should say Monterrey holding up the Bertarame thing. America's fine with Cabecita leaving, which seems like it's probably why it'll be Cabecita. I think they have personal terms with both strikers. It's having to deal with the clubs. And Monterrey are trying to gum up the works because it's either basically first come, first serve in this situation. And it looks like America's way more likely to be the first team to get something agreed than Monterrey. Half because Monterrey's gumming up the works. Half because, well, America wants to sell Cabecita. Not a bad second option, but 10 minutes playing forward, 0-0, 0-0. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I thought Cherundolo was crying, but to get fined over $200,000, getting fined $200,000 or $20,000, my bad, no comma, there we go. $20,000 is BS. Like, okay. Like, seriously, MLS, like, if you call them out on their BS in some way, shape, or form, whether it's pro refs, the refereeing, the conditions of a game, they're going to fine you. Like, you can't say nothing. Like, yeah, is Cherundolo crying because they lost? Yes. Should they have played in the conditions there were? Maybe not. No, I think it may have been too much. I think it only got too much about halfway through the match, but like it wasn't so bad truly until halfway through the match. I mean, there was a big delay, but then there was a little bit of a lull, and then it got crazy again. But suffice it to say, yes, Cherundolo's still a whiner. That's not a question. To get fined $20,000 over saying something that was, somewhat obvious, that they should have been playing in a snow situation like that, blowing snow 3, not inches, like almost what? Like half a foot? Of snow? I don't get why. Like, MLS is way too trigger happy with the fines. I swear. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have played in that conditions. Is he crying? Yes, probably. What year did NXT die? Let's see. Personally, (2018). 2019 NXT was honestly trash. 2020 NXT was honestly trash. I'd say late 2018, early 2019. 2.0 was trash. But I think 2.0 needed to happen. There needed to be a happy medium between indie stars or indie guys and Performance Center. Actual developmental talent. That's what NXT became after they killed off 2.0. And it's doing better now. Like, current NXT sort of feels like 2014-15 NXT, which was the peak, 16. But, like, I loved 2014-15 NXT. That was honestly the true peak. But it was still kicking on well for like 16, 17, mid-18. It sort of feels like that again. I'm not going to lie. What they're doing with NXT. Like, current NXT is, I think it's good programming, to be honest. It feels like the older days. It feels like 2014 again. It feels like what I enjoyed. Not black and gold, but it feels like that type of NXT that I enjoy watching in 2014 and 15. Like, it feels like it. Sort of. So, I'd say it's been reborn, but for a while there, it was, not great. And I guess 2.0 had to happen, but for a while there. But I think it also was those stars on 2.0 led to what it is now. Carmelo Hayes came into his own. Trick. Of course, Dragunov, of course, indie guy from the UK. Noam Dar from the UK. Which I've always been a fan of Noam Dar and Ilya Dragunov. Of course, Lyra Valkyria. But everybody seemed to come into their own, like of the developmental people. So they got a really good women's division down at NXT as well. So 15th minute. So, I mean, I like it. I think it's gotten much better. Honestly, yes. Tiffany Stratton, she is amazing. I mean, it doesn't hurt that she's easy to look at, but she is amazing in the ring. Perfect, great character. She's amazing in the ring. She picked it up easily. I mean, damn. She good. I didn't get it, but Elimination Chamber, damn. Like she was the one who made that match run. I can't lie. Watching that Elimination Chamber match, I was like, okay, I get it now. And she's the one who's basically making this match run. I'm like, okay, all right. Turns out, talented as hell. I'm like, damn. Like, there's some people I just don't get. Like Bronson Reed as well. That's another person I'm like, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. For a while there, Tiffany Stratton was a person I was like, I just don't see it. But that Elimination Chamber match, Diego Rossi goes off the crossbar. That Elimination Chamber match in Perth, that made her a star. Point blank. Great. Good gimmick. Great in the ring. Takes a shot, headed away. So, yeah, I agree. I think so. Honestly, I think that'd be a pretty fun match. I mean, Ray's still kicking. I don't know how because his knees are blown out, but he's still kicking. I respect it, to be honest. I respect it. Damn. Shit. Trying to think here. Let's see. I'd say TJ Perkins. Yeah. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. TJ Perkins. Hideo Itami as well. Well, Drew came back, so is it really a mistake? I'm a fan of Zack Ryder, but here's the thing. What he's doing now, he would have never been able to do in WWE. Like, Zack Ryder's a Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre type case. If he comes back, that's a good thing. Which I think he will, to be honest. At some point, I think he'll come back. I mean, his wife's there. I think Zack, deep down, has always wanted to come back, you know? Like Cody and Drew did. But to actually become a serious act and not just a meme. Because, I mean, Zack Ryder was a meme for a while. I liked him. Everybody did. He was a meme for a while. Because he knew how to get himself over, but that ruined him, you know? Because Vince didn't like people getting themselves over. Zack had to leave. He had to. If he wanted to be taken seriously. Just like Cody and Drew did. So in the end, is it really a mistake? No. Drew wasn't a mistake because Drew from 2010, and I've always been a Drew McIntyre fan, was never the Drew now. My point being, Drew McIntyre now is not 2010 Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes, same thing. Cody Rhodes had to leave to get stock up, and he did, and it worked. Same as Drew. Same as Zack Ryder is doing the same thing. Yeah, this dropped out. It is what it is. Froze up. Yep. Maxine Dupree should be in the WWE Performance Center, perfecting her craft. She needs honesty. Now people telling her she's good already. I agree with that. I mean, I do agree that the fans were hard on her at that house show, but she's not great in the ring. But I don't think they ever really wanted her to be in the ring. She's always been a manager. Now they're trying to make her an in-ring wrestler as well, and it's just she's not ready to be on TV. But yeah, she should be training in the Performance Center from Tuesday to Saturday, or until they go back on the road. And then training while they're at the shows before people come in. Because little do you know, the ring's set up when people are not there. You have like 5 or 6 hours to run through your matches, and there's time to train before people walk in the door. Get to their seats. There is. So I think she should. Like, I feel sorry for her because I've never seen a house show crowd be that volatile. I've never seen it now or even heard it. So I do feel sorry for her. But again, they put her in a bad situation. They reacted. Like, I get why she's not happy. But again, use that as fuel. Now you know. Train more. Stop crying about it. I mean, I get being sad about it, but stop crying about it. Like, I get being sad about it for a day. Stop crying about it for like a week. Don't cry about it for like a week or two. Just take it and train. My point. Actually, there you go. That was a mistake. Yeah. Samoa Joe should have been world champion. I agree. Yeah, that was a mistake. Them releasing Samoa Joe. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. How we doing? 21st minute. 0-0. Another boring one between Houston and Columbus. Columbus had a couple of chances, but other than that, we're sitting here watching another non-big one, boring match. Again, it's probably good for me because that just ups the chances of Chivas, America, and Miami, Nashville being great. I would say, honestly, Kazuchika Okada, they're going to regret not signing him or not re-signing Sasha Banks. Nobody who was in AEW since 2019, maybe besides MJF, but I still think he'll end up in WWE at some point. Anybody who's been in AEW since 2019, since day one, I don't think they regret not signing. They all suck. Sammy Guevara, he's trash. Darby Allin, he's a freaking crash dummy. He's trash. Young Bucks, you know what? The more I see of them jackasses, they're trash. I used to like them. They're trash. Ethan Page, trash. Cody Rhodes was the only one who needed to be re-signed by WWE. Guess what? He was. CM Punk, I'm glad he came back. It sucks that Bryan left, but he wanted AEW since day one, same as Moxley. And I wish they would come back, but maybe they will now that Triple H is in power. Either way, Young Bucks, they ain't going to regret not signing them. They're jackasses. Ethan Page, he sucks. Honestly, the only people they may regret signing are the women's wrestlers in AEW, to be honest. But the WWE already has a good women's division. So, I mean, they got Jade Cargill, so there you go. Go for Britt Baker, maybe. I don't know. I don't think WWE needs to add even more women to their already good women's roster, and honestly starting to get a bit bloated of a women's roster. On all three brands. So, exactly. But on the men's side of things, I mean, maybe Max Caster. He can't wrestle. He's just good at cutting promos. He's a new age John Cena. Like, honestly, the better wrestler in the Acclaimed is Bowens. And even then, he ain't getting signed. I mean, maybe they'll get signed as a package deal, but Caster can't wrestle. Yeah. You just got to help people, man. You just got to help them. Put your head down and help them. So, good. No, I still need to watch it. No, I just think the Young Bucks are jackasses. They're self-marks. Like, this EVP stuff. Oh, yeah, by the way, Kenny Omega. I think he damn near sawdusted himself anyway. 25th minute, 0-0. 0-0. I think he damn near sawdusted himself anyway. I just think the Young Bucks are jackasses. And this is before. They turned heel because they're real-life jackasses. Let's not get it twisted. Because he's not working with idiot EVP children. Did you not hear him complain about those jackasses at that press conference? He wasn't telling lies. They went into business for themselves. They're jackasses. They act like children. CM Punk just wants to help the younger wrestlers. See, the WWE Performance Center people will listen to him. AEW didn't want to listen to him. All of them felt like they were too big for their britches. Did you not see what Jungle Boy did? Real Glass, Cry Me a River, because he didn't want to listen to Punk. They wanted to railroad CM Punk. I have a feeling like Tony Schiavone came to Punk to tell him that freaking Jungle Boy wanted to go through Real Glass or have Real Glass during a match at All Out. It starts a fight. Because, of course, it's stupid to use real glass instead of worked glass. But, okay. And they use it to fire Punk. They railroaded him. I mean, he got injured a couple of times, but they railroaded him. Because they didn't like him. He was already on thin ice. So they took the smallest reason to get rid of him. And honestly, Tony Khan didn't want to. But guess who overruled him? The jackass EVPs and Daniel Bryan. I'm not saying Daniel was wrong. I just think he was doing what he thought was best. But those EVPs also had a vote. They wanted him out of there. And you know what? He's happier because he loves wrestling. But he realizes WWE was a better structured place anyway. He finally realized that maybe he was being too harsh. Probably helps that Vince has been persona non grata as well. But, you know, I think he realized it's better to be home than better to try to make something out of something new. But at least he worked Tony Khan out of a paycheck for 2 years. And he still would have had the Young Bucks had nothing to do with it. And not. Well, I mean, when it comes to them jackasses, I don't blame him. When it comes to that pissant company, I don't blame him. Punk just wants respect. If you don't respect him, yeah, he's probably going to go a little bit too hard. But doesn't anybody? He just wants his respect. He's been doing this for years. And he knows way more than any of these jackasses and that pissant company knows. He's forgotten more than they know. Okay? He wants his respect. I don't blame him. You know, I think Drew McIntyre is trying to make a shoot out of a work. I don't know about you, but I don't know about you, but did you see Drew McIntyre reference his promo on Adam Page word for word? So I think Drew's trying to make some out of nothing, or some out of a work, like a legit something out of a work. Like, or he's just trying to make the work still go while Punk's hurt. Either way. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Seth actually does have an issue with Punk, but it seems like they were professional enough to work together or work against each other and make that, keep it a work, you know? Which is something that Hangman Page didn't do, which is something the Young Bucks didn't do. So there's my point. 30th minute, 0-0. There's my point. Seth Rollins knew to keep it mostly a work or use a real feeling he had about CM Punk and turn it into a work. The Young Bucks, on the other hand, and Adam Page, on the other hand, they turned a work into a shoot. My point being, yeah. That honestly is worse than hearing a boo. Like if you see somebody leave their seat, that's like, damn. Because any reaction's a good reaction if you can hear it. If you can hear people booing or cheering, that's a good thing. If they leave their seat, they think you're a piss break. That's not a reaction. That's just I would rather get X-Pac heat than see people leave their seats. You know what I'm saying? At least they're booing if you're getting X-Pac heat. You know, that's just my opinion. I do agree. Yeah. I agree. But you're right. Probably. Because he sucks. Well, one, he's a heel, but two, he's still green as all hell. Like, I mean, he's green. Houston Dynamo playing for it. I mean, he just is. Like, he's a good heel because he's green. So, you know, I still think Dominic is more of a chicken shit heel. Works perfectly, but he still hasn't gotten better in the ring since he freaking turned heel. Barely. He's either Rhea's lackey or gets slapped up by somebody. And even now that they have Mr. Funko Pop, Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough in the Judgment Day, you know, Dominic is still getting slapped up. Still fits the way his gimmick runs, though, so, you know, I guess it works. 33rd minute, 0-0. Probably. Probably. Still pretty even so far. Let's look at it's still pretty even game so far. Columbus has more chances, but Houston's defending pretty well. Steve Clark's had a pretty good game so far. Third minute. Oh. Now I'm getting confused. And Houston player goes down. Here's a cross. Honestly, John Cena last year against Austin Theory. Honestly, John Cena versus Austin Theory. John Cena should have won last year. I'm sure. Oh, by the way, they could have easily, there was a SAG strike, right? He could have still had the open challenge. You know, when he came back last summer for a good portion of time, the SAG strike was still going on around Mania. That's when it started, and the rider strike. he could have easily done the U.S. Open Challenge. He just chose to put Theory over, which Triple H still had creative, but I think that was one of the things Vince chose, was to put Cena or put Theory over and listen to Cena and put Theory over Cena. I heard Triple H didn't want to do that. They could have easily had Cena stay longer and do the Open Challenge again, or just drop it the next night on Raw to, I don't know, Braun Breaker or something with the Open Challenge. Or I guess 2 nights because it was a Saturday, but you know what I mean. 35th minute. Still would have been better than Austin Theory. Honestly, that pretty much just a rehash of that gimmick where Eric Rowan was a genius. That. Like well-read, sommelier type of thing. Like that gimmick. Like a rehash of that. Something like that. Like a well-read sommelier. I wouldn't say high class, but a very smart, tactical. Like, that's why I say Eric Rowan and not Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Because Eric Rowan's still higher class than Eric Rowan, but you get my point. Like a middle-class genius, well-read, very methodical, you know? Something like that. At least that's what I would do. Something like that. But not too Matt Striker-y either. Remember Booker T and Triple H? Oof. Booker should have went over at Mania. That I agree. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's probably up there with Cena over Theory. Booker should have went over Triple H. Sting should have went over Triple H. There's a lot of those for some reason. There's a lot of those at WrestleMania. Triple H shouldn't have went over X. At least he let Bryan go over. At least Bryan versus H isn't one of those. But yeah, Booker, Sting, the year after the Bryan match, blocked away. Honestly, Batista should have went over at 34. It was 34, right? Batista versus Triple H, Batista should have went over at 34. Past the post. You'd have to ask him. I have no idea. Triple H was the best heel they had, you know? And Vince, well, he was with Vince's. Even back then, Triple H was dating Vince's daughter, so I bet a little bit of nepotism helped him as well. But, he was still the best heel they had. At least on Raw. Even on SmackDown, really, JBL over Triple H, you're out of your mind. Maybe Lesnar when he was there. Heyman as well. Cena was a good heel for a year, but he was more of a mid-card heel. Triple H is the best heel they had on Raw. Point blank, period. And, he was still with Stephanie back then. So that definitely helped his case. And Vince always had a thing for letting the heels hold the belts a long time, especially back then. I don't know if you noticed that, but especially back then, Vince really loved letting the heels hold the belts for a long time. As well as he did JBL, you know. SmackDown in the early 2000s. Let me tell you something. Whenever there's a brand split, normally SmackDown's the better brand. Even though Raw is the A show, SmackDown, for some reason, normally is the better brand during a brand split. The only time SmackDown sucks is when they either fudge the rules of a brand split or get rid of the brand split. You know? Like when SmackDown started sucking during the second brand split, it was when they did the wild card rule and they started fudging the rules. SmackDown was sort of trash during the pandemic as well because they had to fudge the rules because of the way the pandemic set up the Thunderdome and all that. Everybody was on both shows. Like, there was only a brand split name only because of the pandemic for a couple of years. So, like, there was like a good 6-month period when SmackDown had just moved to Fox where SmackDown was better. Then the pandemic threw all that away. Because they basically had to say, yeah, you know, the brand split's not really the brand split no more because we kind of have to make it that way. Then SmackDown started sucking again. Or the early 2010s, SmackDown sucked. Why? Because the brand split was a lie, and then they just killed it all together. SmackDown sucked. But 2015, 16, 17, I love 2015 to 17 SmackDown. I do. And I also love the early 2000s SmackDown. Like, normally when the brand split legitimately is held to, SmackDown's the better show. Always has been. And it is right now, honestly. Out of the two main shows. Header. Save. So, like, early 2000s SmackDown, mid-2010s SmackDown. Now SmackDown. Still 0-0, yes. SmackDown was more of a main event show, and Raw was when everything was getting booked into storylines and segments. That is true. And honestly, that's still true now. And when it was 2015 to 17. Well, actually, the last year, the non-brand split SmackDown was 2015, but that was awesome. Like, you could kind of tell they were starting to nudge into a brand split again before they went into it. When SmackDown, I think, went back to Thursdays in 2015. Or at least that 2015 year. And then when they went live and did the brand split again. New Raw or 2000s Raw? Honestly, now. 42nd minute, yes. Why? Because it helps sell. It helps sell. Do they want to be on that show? It helps sell the motivation of the character. Like, if they feel disrespected by being drafted to the B show. And it could change. And in my opinion, it should be able to change. Like, it's not always Raw's the A show, SmackDown's the B show. Sometimes they can look at the discussion and say, yeah, people like SmackDown better right now. Look at the ratings and all that. And they could be like, damn, I don't want to be on Netflix on Raw. I want to be on USA on SmackDown. Because they're moving, you know how it's, I know that's next year, but yeah, it's like, damn, I wish I was still on SmackDown, or I'm really doing good on SmackDown. Now I got to get moved. That type of thing. Like, it shows the motivation of the character. It shows the motivation. Honestly, Jade Cargill, that sounds like a good faction. Shot save. SmackDown to Raw. Because that also depends. If that faction had something to do with me. SmackDown to Raw. Yeah, the general manager should pick. But now that they have general managers, I think we know where they're going. Aldis and Pierce. will probably be the ones drafting whenever they do the draft again. See, they didn't really have general managers the last time they did the draft. It was just Pierce running both shows. Now they have Aldis and Pierce. Yeah, there you go. 45th minute, 0-0. This game is boring. See? Yeah. SmackDown in 2016 was amazing. It's awesome. Like, the faster pace of the show, the different camera work, the wrestlers they had on there, the storylines of the show. Moxley is champion into AJ Styles. Cena going for number 16. Bray Wyatt and Orton teaming together. Like, 2016 SmackDown was just amazing. It was amazing. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Like, it was amazing. Like, the storylines were better. I think they really loaded up the show, to be totally honest. Becky Lynch, of course, winning the first SmackDown Women's title. The Usos turning heel. Like, Heath Slater and Rhino. Like, that was some good stuff. Some good TV. Miz Ziggler, yeah. Miz versus Ziggler as well. That was a really good feud. The first time, as I said, the early 2010s when they basically threw away the brand split the first time. 2018 to right before they moved to Fox. And then during the pandemic. Those were like the bad eras of SmackDown. But again, it's when they threw the brand split out the water. Yeah, 2018. 2018 SmackDown was just, nah. Pre-Fox, 2018, pre-Fox SmackDown. When they did the wild card rule, no. That was bad. That was some bad TV. But WWE TV was just crap then, frankly. 2018 into the wild card rule, pre-Fox. Hell. They both sucked. Halftime, it's 0-0. 0-0 miro tiempo esta noche. Like, the only really good thing, like, and it was really 2019 wild card rule. Like, Kofi, like, when Kofi Mania was happening, SmackDown was better by a little bit, you know? Like, when Kofi Mania happened, that was when the best moment of, like, 2018 pre-Fox SmackDown. I loved the Kofi Mania storyline, but that was just, like, 2 parts of the show, of a 2-hour show. And then Raw just sucked. Raw was a 3-hour slog with nothing good on it. And then you had 2 segments on SmackDown that basically made the night good, you know, the next night. Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I like Mustafa Ali. I do. But it just wouldn't hit the same if he didn't get hurt. It had to be Kofi. I like Mustafa Ali. I do. Here's the thing. Kofi Mania hit because it was Kofi. Right? I like Mustafa Ali. And I think Kevin Owens at that point was starting to become a talk show hosting Punk. So, and I didn't like that era of Kevin Owens because Vince didn't know how to use him. So I think it had to be Kofi. You know? Because the ones who win Tough Enough honestly suck. Most of the time. As long as they save that money from that first contract, you know. Entertaining first half, just wish Hinestroza wasn't selfish when Clark was way off his line. I agree with that. That was a bad miss or a bad mistake. It's just, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, honestly, I never really thought of it. Like, to me, I think the losers are honestly, it's like American Idol, you know? It's kind of like American Idol. The losers are honestly more talented than the person who wins, you know? Like, to me, the people who end up third, fourth, or fifth are honestly better than the person who wins. Like, when people vote on things, they don't know. They're voting for either a storyline or they're voting for a sob story or they're voting for just who they like the most, who doesn't throw them off the most or tick them off the most. See, the best wrestlers on Tough Enough normally the ones who might just tick off some people to where they won't get voted for. They don't have a wholesome story or they aren't every man or every woman. You know what I'm saying? Just like American Idol. Like Chris Daughtry should have won American Idol. But technically when he came fifth, he still did better than anybody that year. The winner of that year. I think that was Taylor Hicks. And I like Taylor Hicks. Was that? That may have been actually Carrie Underwood's season. Either way. Okay, no, that might be. Honestly. Either way. I mean, I like Carrie Underwood too, but Chris Daughtry. Okay, that's sort of a bad example. Or if that was Taylor Hicks's year. Either way. Let's see. Adam Lambert. All right, here we go. Adam Lambert, way more talented than Chris Allen. I like Chris Allen's music, but I still realized back then that Adam Lambert was way more talented. But see, people didn't vote for him because, well, back in 2009, man, I'm surprised he honestly steamrolled his way to the final, too, and then lost there, to be honest. Again, let's remember, it was 2009 America. I mean, come on. Let's remember. Yeah, he's talented as all hell. We know why 2009's America voted Chris Allen instead. We know why. Less talented, but we know why. And I like both's music, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Adam Lambert. I'm also a fan of Chris Allen. But, y'all, you don't even know who Chris Allen is. See, that's my point. You know who Adam Lambert is, though. My point exactly. My point exactly. My point exactly. How the hell did Clay Aiken win in 2002 or 2003? Yeah, Adam Lambert should have won then, actually. Now I think about it. Clay Aiken won. Wait, no. Oh, Ruben Studdard won. My bad. Damn it. You're right. Honestly, they both didn't do that well, so. My bad. Why do I always get that one confused? Ruben won, not Clay Aiken. Yeah. Why do I always get that one confused? It's always one I get confused. I don't know why. I agree with that. I like Jason, but Cucho got to come on at the second half. Nashville got 2 defense so well because Messi will score tomorrow. If he plays. We'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going. 0-0 at the half, settle was settle, middle tiempo, sit tight. We'll be back for the stats at the half. We'll be back. Sit tight. Back for the stats of the half. We have 53% possession to 47% possession, 4 shots, 7. 3 shots on goal to 3, 237 accurate passes, 84% to 216, 90%. Guess because they had more. 4 fouls to 4, 1 corner to 2, 4 shots to 7, 3 shots on goal to 3, 281 passes to 241, 84% pass accuracy to 90, 12 throws to 4, 2 offside to 0. 0 yellow cards, 0 red cards, 0 0-0 at the half. 0-0 medio tiempo. Houston Dynamo versus Columbus been pretty even. Columbus could have scored a couple of goals if there wasn't too much. Well, if they had Cucho starting and also Hinestroza wasn't selfish. Columbus would be leading in that case. Sadly enough, he was. And they haven't started Cucho. So that's pretty much your story. That is your story. Houston has been sort of not been put to the sword by Columbus, but it's been an even game. But Columbus could easily had an even 2-0 lead at the half. But they didn't. They basically ruined some of their chances is all I'm saying. So, Columbus could do better at the second half. I think they've been slightly better, still even though. But, yeah, Columbus, 0-0. They should be leading. They aren't. Houston, defending well, but nothing more than that. Honestly, I wouldn't like it. How we doing? I'm doing good. How we doing, Robert? I'm doing good. I mean, honestly, it always seemed like the shorter guys and the more indie guys had the best matches with Brock. So you know what? Yeah. That ain't gonna happen. But, no, I wouldn't fight him in the octagon, I can tell you that much. Or box him either. I know I would get my ass kicked there. Probably still would in a worked match, but it's always seemed like the shorter indie guys had better matches with him in the ring than the tall dudes and the other really big dudes, you know? So, if all things were ideal, yeah, they're not, but if they were ideal. Thoughts on New England's win? I mean, they dominated Alajuelense. I'm honestly disappointed at Alajuelense. I thought they would do better. I thought they would be the better. I didn't say I thought they'd be the better side, but I thought Alajuelense would play better and look better or have a better score than 4-0 against. But they did. So New England did their job. New England went and got themselves a better performance after the Toronto game. So there you go. They're okay. They could get better as the year goes on. I don't think they'll stick at this like now. I don't think they'll get worse. I think they'll grow into themselves. But I see positives. More positives than I normally do. So there you go. CM Punk, the original. There's a reason it's called a pipe bomb. That type of promo is called a pipe bomb. And CM Punk, the original. The first ever. There's a reason why it's called that. Punk on the stage, legs crossed, Cena through the table. I don't even have to say any lines. You know what I'm talking about. Well, they still haven't got any points in the league. So, I'd honestly take the bet Toronto's 5th over New England. I'd take that bet right now. The Toronto ends up 5th. I know he signed with AEW. That was a bad miss by WWE, I have to say. That's more like it. Exactly. As I said preseason, what did I say? Toronto could barely miss the playoffs, and if everything goes right, they could finish 4th or 5th. If everything goes right, which so far it has. And guess what? We're tied for 2nd in the conference. If things keep going right, we could damn near be hosting a first-round series, if not actually hosting a first-round series. That might not help us host a game later on in the run, but it is what it is. Columbus was what? The 4th seed? No. 3rd seed. 3rd seed. And went and won it all. So there you go. Well, if that's what she wants, hopefully work for her. DC United, wherever I had them, honestly, maybe a little bit higher than where I had them on my first predictions, 10th. I think they'll be the ones barely missing the playoffs, and Miami will be a bit higher because, well, there you go. I figured as much. Playing forward, second half about to start, Miami 5th. Yeah, that sounds about right. 5th or 6th. I don't think they'll finish top 4 right now. I think they'll have a good start to the season. They'll have a good ending. But when Messi's not there, and we're off in the second half, 45th minute. Going above the 45th minute. Playing forward. Columbus on the ball, playing it forward, trying to at least. I think has the greatest theme. Well, Cena. Austin. Playing forward, Columbus. Honestly, that's a bit bold, but we'll see. Portland 3-1. Portland wins 3-1. Playing forward. Houston puts it out. What I missed? Nothing. It's still 0-0. Home opener, who wins? Red Bull or Dallas? Red Bull. Dallas choked to Montreal, so I'm going Red Bull. Barcelona. Napoli. I say 2-2 draw. I mean, Napoli's playing pretty well under their new manager. Barcelona still sucks. I'm going to 3-2 Napoli. Yes, they should have scored the first half if Hinostroza would have been less selfish in the first half and passed the ball when Clark was way off his line, or if they were starting Cucho. Yeah, Columbus can score. They're playing good enough to score. They just haven't scored yet. So I also think there will be a goal in this game. But thoughts on Colorado-Nashville game? I mean, it was mid. It was honestly the definition of mid. I mean, I guess Colorado playing the game to the level they did was better than what Nashville would have wanted. 48th minute. Yeah, because I think an international break is either about to start before that match or it is during an international break. Don't quote me on that. I think on the finals of the Nations League, the final is happening during a Toronto match, I think. Or maybe it's Canada versus, I don't know. Something's happened. But I think they were playing MLS matches during the international break. So it's probably why. I just wonder what Argentina's doing. Why did Vince like Austin Theory so much? Because he thought Austin Theory could be like the next Cena. Because the dude had a good body. He has somewhat okay promos. And he was what Vince likes. I mean, Austin Theory pretty much hasn't progressed out of the prototype stage. So I'm ready to see it too, and I will be live for that match. So there you go. Hopefully. Go Miami. So yeah, Manuel scored, which was not against Charlotte. Hey, he's a good player. They did bring on Cucho at the half. Smart play. C4. For Hinostroza, I guess that's for him being selfish. Okay. Guess that's for him being selfish. Fair enough. '50th minute. There we go. Saw the Canucks might flip Lindholm to get to the Bruins to get Jake Gensel. That's an interesting move. 3-0 Brazil over Mexico. So the CONCACAF W Gold Cup will have a CONCACAF versus CONMEBOL final. Brazil versus the USA or Canada. CONMEBOL might just win the first ever CONCACAF W Gold Cup. We do not need that at all. Yeah, I saw it. Good match, honestly. 51st minute. Playing forward. Rossi. Plays on to Nagbe. Nagbe plays it up. Good play. Here's a chance. Good. And that gets cleared. Blocked. Header down. How we doing, Red Bull Insider? Hopefully USA Canada could save us. I agree. Here's a chance. Shot saved by Clark. I don't know if they did that just because they thought it would be smart to add CONMEBOL teams. Because CONCACAF hasn't grown that much yet, but I think maybe it'll be full on CONCACAF next time. But if Italy's women's team want to play the Women's Gold Cup, I wouldn't complain. I guess in 2026, the 2026 Women's Gold Cup, I guess they'll do it every 2 years like the men. So every odd year, we get a men's Gold Cup if they do it the way they do it for the men. Every even year, we get a Women's Gold Cup. Honestly, I like that. I honestly like it. Seems to me like that'll probably be the way they do it. They did not. Or Canada didn't let Colombia win it. This year, yes. Playing forward. 2000. And we did not let Qatar win the Gold Cup either the 2 times they were there. Thank God that didn't happen. That probably would have been worse. At least Brazil's not too weird if it was to happen where Canada or USA would lose to Brazil. At least it's not too weird. They're only in South America. Qatar would have been like, oh, hell. And if they do this like big mini World Cup thing in 25 with the men and like Italy wins it, I'm going to be a hypocrite, I know. But if Italy or Japan wins it, I'm going to be a hypocrite, I know. But, well, those are my non-CONCACAF international teams. So I'm going to just say, I hate to tell you, but I'll celebrate it. Even if CONCACAF loses the cup to Japan or Italy. But I can't help it. I'd celebrate it less if Canada loses it to them, but I'd still win either way, technically. So that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So it can happen if everything goes to plan, at least the cup part. It could happen. 55th minute. 3-0 Brazil. Playing forward. 54th minute. Columbus still the better team so far. Nice play. Dorsey. 55th minute. Talking about Italy, I'm actually going to Italy versus Ecuador at Red Bull Arena. Nice. I may watch that game if I have a chance. Panama smashed Qatar because Qatar had players on yellow or red cards. That's true, but Qatar was also trash last summer. Like, I can't believe Qatar went and won the Asian Cup back-to-back. They were horrible at the World Cup, and they were horrible at the Gold Cup. Of course, Queiroz wasn't there for the World Cup, and that was Sanchez. And Queiroz wasn't there for the Asian Cup. That was a different manager altogether. But Queiroz did not fit that Qatar system, let me tell you. I would honestly be shocked. Sami Zayn, 56th minute. Playing forward is Columbus, still attacking the goal. 56th minute. Plays in, nice play. Cucho, shot blocked, still back to Cucho. Past the post. Yeah, but they should have gave him the damn title. They probably will. for the 2025 one. They probably will. Exactly. Cody shouldn't even have had his story in the first place. Or should have faced Sammy at WrestleMania. Now, if he won that, so be it. But this bloodline story shouldn't even have went this long. Houston Dynamo had a Halliburton as a sponsor. '57th minute. What? USMNT roster will be out March 13. Okay. You know Qatar is going to drop the bag to go to a mini World Cup style Gold Cup. They already have CONCACAF on speed dial. I'm surprised they aren't in the W Gold Cup. Over the bar. Well, Qatar has a women's team, right? How we doing? Over the bar, still 0-0, 58th minute. Cody's story is so overrated. Thank you. But since we're here, might as well finish it. I mean, good player. He's a good player. Cross in header. Over the bar. Which teams will host the Club World Cup? I think it's West Coast stadiums. I think. Feel bad for Reyes. Honestly, me too. I think it's West Coast. All West Coast. I think Gold Cup is going to be held more on the West, one of the coasts, and the Club World Cup will be hosted on the other coast. Mm-hmm. Shot! Goal! Houston Dynamo. He's offside. Bartlow is called offside. It doesn't count. So it's the opposite. Gold Cup in the West, Club World Cup in the East. My bad. It's opposite. Offside. Yeah, Bartlow was in an offside position, yes. At least when the ball was first played. Doesn't count. Back to 0-0. Offside position as the play started. So there you go. Pretty much, yeah. I got it mixed up. So Gold Cup West, Club World Cup East. Majority. 60th minute. They're going to check it. They're going to check this on VAR. I mean, they were on an offside position as the play started before the ball was struck. Like the first pass was offside, or the players were offside on the first pass. That should be offside. I think so. I think that was offside. Just like that one time they were offside in St. Louis. I'm thinking offside. We think if Esmir goes to Europe, he'll do fine. He'll do great in Europe, I think. I think he'll do great in Europe, to be honest. Now that's wrong. Offside. It is still offside. It took a little bit too long to call that. Possibly. Where would he go? I'd see him going to a team like Leicester City. At times, portions. I think there's been good things about all the XFLs. So it was offside. 62nd minute. Confirm offside. I don't think they needed to do all that, but I'm going to change your mind on the Stanley Cup. I haven't even made a prediction, I thought. So, I guess making a prediction would be changing my mind. I guess in theory. I didn't say how possible it was. I just said it was possible. 63rd minute. I could see a SummerSlam being hosted there. 63rd minute. Third minute, 0-0. Playing forward. Rossi. 64th minute. Oh, that's got to be a free kick. Yep, free kick. Real Madrid got lucky against Red Bull Leipzig. I mean, they got a goal on both legs. I mean, I wouldn't say that's lucky. Cucho gets up. I heard. Ethan Bartlow gets a yellow card, free kick. 65th minute. "65 minutes of this match are up. We're going to get to the 70th. How was your day? It was good. Cross in, blocked away. It was a good day. We got Cincinnati, Monterey tomorrow. Nashville, Miami tomorrow. We'll be live for both, reviewing Nashville, Miami, of course, because that's the smart play. That'll be the first round. First legs done tomorrow. Next week are the second legs. Then we're into an international break. Quicker than you could say. Some sort of tongue twister. I don't know. Honestly, now I think about it. The fact that Cody wants to run for office one day and he finishes story in an election year, you know what? Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, actually, now that you say it, good point. Call Super Sunday instead. So, for Chivas Guadalajara, Wally, Mozo, Briseño. Chavez. Cross in, header, falls down. Full 8 teams. It looks like it's a bit of a rotation, saved by Steve Clark for Chivas. 67th minute, 0-0. But it is. Yeah. Arfston and Ramirez coming on. Max Arfston coming on and Christian Ramirez coming on. Max Arfston for Mohamed Farsi. Zendejas is starting, yes. For Jason Russell Rowe. Christian Ramirez for Jason Russell Rowe. 68th minute. Looks like a bit rotating from Chivas. Yep. Honestly, I'm shocked. Alajuelense played like crap. New England played a damn good game. It seems like Toronto woke them up. I'm not surprised, honestly. It's like how Cincinnati did last week, you know? Toronto woke them up. Cincinnati beat the hell out of Cavalier and still beat Chicago, I think, just not by much. I think they beat Chicago 2-1 instead. But still, it seems like they got woken up by Toronto. They got punched in the mouth and they made the other teams pay. Same as New England. So I guess Charlotte about to punch them in the mouth. And they'll do good in their next league game, I guess. We'll see, though. Exactly. 69th minute, 0-0. Yeah, I'd say it is. Again, I think Darby Allin did too much because, one, he's a freaking crash test dummy. Second of all, you shouldn't be doing all that in a match with Sting. It was his send-off. And you're taking all these spots and basically trying to put the shine on you, which, I mean, wildly enough, I think Sting, for some reason, is fine with that. I don't think he should be. Thought Marrero would go beast mode against New England like how he did against LAFC in Los Angeles. Exactly. And I thought Joel Campbell would score a couple of goals. Turns out neither happened. 70th minute. Yeah, because that dude's a nut. I don't think he's working a gimmick there. I think Darby Allin's a nut. The dude's a nut. He probably will do something stupid and die in the ring or around it. And it wouldn't shock me. He's a nut. He is a nut. Yes. Jeff Hardy at least did crazy shit and still does, but he tried to do it safely. Darby Allin legit doesn't care if he kills himself. Like, Jeff Hardy was basically a stunt man in the wrestling business. Still is. Darby Allin is a crash test dummy. He's a nut. Jeff Hardy always tried to do crazy stuff or safe stuff that looked crazy. Darby Allin is doing crazy stuff for the sake of it. And he's basically said if he kills himself, so be it. He goes out in a blaze of glory, which I guess I get the thought process, but here's the problem with that. They wouldn't let Darby Allin do half the stuff that he does. He would not want to be a WWE superstar. Sebastian Kowalczyk coming on. Yeah, I get it. 72nd minute. I mean, I haven't drank to calm the nerves, but Gabe Siegel's coming off for Sebastian Kowalczyk. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. And besides, that also sends him to extra time instead of... Besides, I also have to keep him scoreless, and that sends him to extra time. In theory, you honestly probably want New England to score. Oh, wait. That means you have to score 7. My bad. They have to score 6. Why nobody wants Alberto Del Rio? Well, his reputation precedes himself, and he's old as shit. He's burned a lot of bridges. His reputation precedes himself, and he's old as shit for a wrestler. So that's basically it for him. He's burned a lot of bridges. His reputation precedes himself, and he's old as shit. And he doesn't want to apologize for the bridges he's burned. So there's a reason why they don't want Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio, most random Royal Rumble winner. Here's a chance, Columbus. Columbus plays a back shot over the bar. 73rd minute. Yep. That was last night, but yes. The Sting and Big Show, Hall of Fame. At some point, they'll both be in the Hall of Fame, yes. Ric Flair's already a 2-time Hall of Famer. I'm sure there's some Ric Flair's done that can make him a 3-time Hall of Famer. Evolution, maybe. Evolution, maybe, I think. Takes a shot, plays on. Chance blocked away in the 74th minute. Here's a chance. Shot! Goal! 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 Columbus Crew! Christian Ramirez scored a good couple of playoff goals to make sure on the Crew's road to a cup. And then he scores again. Christian Ramirez. 1-0 Columbus Crew. 0-1. There's the goal that they've been looking for all night. And an away goal at that. Far post. Christian Ramirez. There it is. 1-0. In the 75th minute, 0-1, 0-1 esta noche. Columbus has the lead. Christian Ramirez, clutch player. I agree. He very is clutch. He's damn good. He is damn good. Also, New England wins the tie. That means they would have to face Club America or Chivas. That would be very difficult for the Revs. Yep, they'd be screwed. Superman. Superman Christian Ramirez gets it. That's his nickname? Huh, we'll go with it. Yeah. 75th minute. I don't know why they're checking this, but okay. Good goal. Very good goal. They're going to check it for offside. Another offside check. John Stewart screwing over John Cena. And I'm a fan of John Stewart. I looked on to me. I don't even know why they're checking this. Remember Summerfest? And his name is John Cena. We all remember. I think he was on. I thought it counted, but that's an onside position. Are you kidding me? I think he's on. I think he's on the whole time. You gotta be kidding me. And he's offside. Still says 1-0. Nope, it is offside. Offside. Goal gets canceled. Both teams have had a offside goal. That took a long review to make sure it was either off or they checked it. I call BS. First one was offside. The one for Houston was offside. This wasn't. Playing forward, 77th minute. Goal disallowed. 78th minute. Nah, he's... Shoulder's off. You can't score. Maybe the shoulder, but you can't score with the shoulder. Alexandru Matan. On for Diego Rossi. I don't remember. 78th minute. 12 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Damn. Definitely 0-0 full time. Probably. I think Columbus should feel hard done by. I agree. If Houston wins this game, good defensive play, good clearance, good. Ball doesn't lie. I guess. Maybe his shoulder was slumping off. Here's the bad news. You can't score with your shoulder. Technically, that's a handball. Or they'll probably call that off for handball too. So you know what? I won't shoulder shrug the ball into the net. Turns out they'll probably call that off too. Now that's a call a scab would make. I can't believe a true professional referee made that call. And that's why I don't miss pro. And now that's why I don't miss pro. There's both sides. As far as I know, no. Pro going to pro even when they're on MLS strike. Exactly. See, I missed them until now. Now I remember why it doesn't matter that we have scabs or not. Scabs might be worse, but guess what? Plays forward. A save by Schulte. The scabs suck and the pro refs suck. See? We had no pro mistakes when there was a pro ref in CONCACAF, Gold Cup, W Gold Cup, or Champions Cup. Now we just did. Now I remember. I think they will, but they're playing at home anyway. So they should have anyway. I'd be worried if they didn't. But I think they will now, yes. 10 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Imagine Taylor Swift performing at WrestleMania. Honestly, that'd be awesome. Let's see, what song? I don't know. They probably... Well, I don't know if they'd actually give her a concert or if they would make her sing God Bless America or something. Now, if they gave her a concert, let's see. She should play Lover, You Belong With Me. I still love that song, Lover. I don't know why. But it's still a banger, Debate a Wall. I don't know why I still love the song. I shouldn't. I should not love that song. But I do. And it's still a banger. Lover, the song Lover, even though I should hate it, I still love it. Debate a Wall. It's a good song. It's a banger. Debate a Wall. Debate a Wall. 81st minute. Debate a Wall. Honestly, yeah. I'm a low-key Swiftie, so I disagree. I disagree. 82nd minute. I say Chivas wins 2-0. 2-0. Cross in. Past the post. They could have just let Schulte get that, but okay. 82nd minute. Honestly, it'd be better in a match that they just pull out of their ass. Give me a second. Offside, 82nd minute. Matan. Playing forward, 83rd minute. I know, I saw they qualified. It's easy to beat Rot loss. Come on now. Yeah, the game should be 1-1. I agree. Cruz Azul's playing really well right now, and they were playing in, I think, Estadio Azul. They've made that their fortress again. And it's easy for America to beat Rot loss. So it's a one game. You can always have a bad game. Well, another team is beating a team that's easy to beat. So it is what it is. 84th minute. It's my second Dr. Pepper. I haven't had any alcohol, if that's what you're asking. Corners. How many corners have we had? Where's my map? So far, 4 corners to 3. 4 Houston, 3 Columbus. I've not had any alcoholic drinks, and I've only had 2 Dr. Peppers. So, yeah. I like Dr. Peppers, but they're also cheaper than Coke cans at this point. Just so you know. But I like Dr. Pepper, so I have no problem with it. I know. And Chelsea. Let's not forget, Chelsea's in there too. Chelsea's in there too. And maybe if Toronto wins MLS Cup, they'll be in there. Still 0-0. Both teams scored, but they were both offside. 1 each. They were both offside. 85th minute. So it's still 0-0. So if you're worried about your bet, I'm sorry, but you're not in a good position if you're betting. Yeah. So Chelsea's in the Club World Cup. They may suck, but they're in there. And if Toronto wins MLS Cup, they might just be in there. If Miami wins Champions Cup. If they don't, they'll get screwed over. And they don't have a manager who will pound the pavement to make sure that Toronto goes. 85th minute. Here's a chance. Plays forward. Miami's winning MLS Cup 100%. Ain't no way they don't rig it. John Herman don't give a shit about something being rigged, my boy. Don't do that. $85-30. Columbus playing forward. Cross in. Header wide. Wide by Matan. Still 0-0, but it's gotten better in the second half. Both teams have scored offside goals. They're back right. Toronto's back, yes. I want you to put out the word, we're back. We back up. I want you to put out the word, we back up. We back up. We back up. I want you to put out the word, we back up. Do you read comments from Twitch if they show up? Yeah. Now, Rumble, there's a difference. If I'm on Rumble, those comments don't show up here. So if anybody's commenting on Rumble, well, this is not on Rumble right now. The next one will be. If anything's on Rumble, might as well not put a comment. Come to YouTube or Twitch because I'll be watching Canada. I won't be able to read your comments. But if you're on Twitch or YouTube, yes. Sometimes I'll be able to read your comments. So, player down hurt. I say yes. I say he is. Hit that like button. Let's get this one going. 87th minute, couple of subs. Imagine Valencia in the Club World Cup, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. They haven't been good enough for the past 4 years. Hate to say it, but they haven't been good enough. That's a problem, you see. So basically, the next stream is a double pretty much without being advertised as a double. Here and there, but I don't like having or Instagram for that matter, like having a landscape live stream on a portrait app. I just don't, it just doesn't seem like it would. Then again, people could be watching this, but at least, it's still a landscape video on a portrait screen, for the other three. So, I guess it doesn't matter, but, but I have thought about it. I just would rather put it on Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube than. And I just realized I could stream on Rumble a couple of weeks ago. Like they lowered it from 100 followers to like 10. So that's why I've been able to stream on Rumble recently. On at least one a day. You can't set up more than one at a time. 89th minute, but So de y fútbol es el mejor. Sí, amigo, sí. What if Inter Miami both wins Champs Cup and MLS? Who would qualify in the MLS Cup champion? The most recent MLS Cup champion, which would be this season. That's why I said, if Miami wins Champs Cup and Toronto wins MLS Cup, they'll be in the Club World Cup. Because I don't think they would change the rules back to only an American MLS Cup champion could be the host nation team. You've already opened that Pandora's box. Now that you've upgraded the Champions Cup and you said any MLS Cup champion could take the MLS Cup slot in the round of 16. You can't just turn back and say, you could take that part of it, but you can't, as a Canadian team, be in the Club World Cup. And I hope at least Herdman has enough balls to pound the pavement if they try to pull that shit. I don't think he will if Miami's getting just thrown in since they lost this tournament, no matter what. That's going to happen. They have to win this tournament so an MLS Cup champion will be in. Now, you could say, but Toronto may not win MLS Cup. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying if they do, we still have a chance. 6 minutes of stoppage time. 0-0. We have a chance. Long shot, but a chance. Long shot, but a chance. There's a difference. TFC vastly improved this year. I agree. How we do? They are. They're loud. I got to say, they're loud. 1 minute into stoppage time. We're going to put it to set up. Where it is. 7 people waiting already for Chivas versus America. Wow. I think that's something. 7 people waiting already for that one. Wow. That is crazy. Toronto looks better this year. 1 minute into stoppage time. We got 5 more to go. Still 0-0. I agree with you, actually. Yeah, it's the main event. Exactly. It's the main event of the night. It's going to start hot. I need it to be hot all night long, so it gets me views on the stream and the review. We need it to be a crazy game. So let's root for a crazy game. When it comes to America Chivas, let's root for a crazy game. Preferably one that Chivas wins, but preferably one they win. But, and same thing for Miami and Nashville tomorrow night. We have a curtain jerker and a main event. 208 over the bar. Curtain jerker and main event. 90th minute. Only cheering for Cade Cowbell. I have a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Clanger, 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 clanger. Clanger. El Vaquero. I've never rooted for Chicharito in my life, but today I'm his #1 fan. Honestly, I agree. I agree. Do you know what is Real Madrid? By the way, Real Madrid got a waiver robbery. Vini should have been sent off today. Well, he wasn't. And he scored a goal, too. So that's something. Ain't that something? 3 minutes left of the game. We're past the 90th minute, past 93 minutes, 3 more minutes of stoppage time. Columbus, cross. Here's a chance. Shot. Will not get dribbled in. I forgot Chicho went back. Yeah, and he's just started a couple of games recently now. He's not starting tonight, but is he on the bench? Yes, and Cade Cowell. They're on the bench. They're on the bench. On the bench. On the bench. Yeah, ironically enough, y'all don't do good against Chivas at home, but on the road you do. That is true. That is true. But the main event tonight, Super Clasico Mexicano 250 in the CONCACAF Champions Cup over the bar by Columbus. 251 is next week. 252 is next weekend. 3 and 14 days or whatever. Or 10 days. Yeah. Let's go, Cucho. 4th minute. 2 minutes to go. Cross in. .422. A minute and a half left in this game. Playing forward. Good play. Columbus playing forward into the last minute of stoppage time. Ooh, nice play. Still with the balls, Columbus. They're pinning Houston back. Cross in. That'll be cleared with a minute to go. Foul. That'll be a free kick for Columbus. One of the last kicks of the game. What's with these 0-0 draws? Just they are happening. That's all. Goal. Well, that's a way to end it. Let's see. Free kick taken short. Crossed in. Crossed in. Shot and dribbles in. Goal. Goal. Columbus Crew. Alexandru Matan. 1-0. 1-0. Alexandru Matan with the away goal for the Columbus Crew. Alexandru Matan gets it back. Finds its way into the net to the far post. With one of the last chances of the game. 90+6. Sounds like what they did to St. Louis in the first leg. How does it feel? Oh, wait, it happened again. Yeah. Might be worried, Columbus. I don't know. At least you got the away goal. Alexandru Matan. And that's full time. 1-0. 0-1 esta noche, Columbus Crew. What a way to finish. Oh, it's not. Well. Now they kick off. Wait. Over the top. 7 minutes. Plays forward. We still got to wait for full time. Cleared away. And now it's full time. 0-1, 0-1. Columbus Crew esta noche. With that being said, if you like the stream, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you in a couple of minutes for Chivas versus America. And we'll have that one going. And Canada versus the USA at the W Gold Cup. But with that being said, I'll see you in a bit. Couple of minutes. Congratulations, Columbus. Not yet. Just halfway there. But for tonight, I guess. But I'll see you later. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See you.